show live at Ramadan FM from Milton Keynes every Sunday between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
We will also join our dad to cover business update around the world.
Don't forget to tune in every Sunday between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kila Ijumaa ya mwezi mtukufu wa Ramadhan, ungana nami Bahsani Darus katika kipindi maalum Kinga ya Mu'min kuanzia saa 5 mchana hadi saa 6 kwa majira ya mji wa Milton Keynes, Uingereza, kupitia tovuti ya Ramadan FM.
For a list of all our sponsors, please visit ramadanfm.com.
Ramadan, 87.9 FM.
The vibrant city of Lahore comes to Milton Keynes. Let's talk about the Lahori vibes, Corona lockdown and Ramadan in Lahore with Atif and Sadia.
Please join our live show every Thursday 7 to 8 p.m. on Ramadan FM Milton Keynes. You can also join our live stream on Facebook and YouTube.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Atif and Sadia. Lahore is very much alive and getting very, very hot every day. Hope everything is well in Milton Keynes. Definitely we are in Lahore, but our thoughts are always in Milton Keynes. Hope you guys are well. Apologies, we are joining the show or doing this show after a hiatus of 2 weeks actually, because last week unfortunately we couldn't be online because of Sadia's mother's condition. We will talk about it later, but Sadia, do you want to thank everyone for their well wishes and prayers?
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and it was very wonderful to see that support, especially from the Ramadan FM team, and I really and truly believe that my mother got better because of so many du'as, and thank you so much and jazakallah khair for all the du'as and for your support. It was like having a very positive feeling, and it became so virtual, and I felt so blessed to have so many du'as for my mother. And alhamdulillah, she came out of that scenario, and it was really very difficult for all of us as a family. And I would really like to appreciate Atif for taking care of my 4 children. Of course, it's not that easy when the little one is just 3.5 years old. And I went to my mother and I took care of her without the pressure and the burden of my children. So yes, Ramadan had been really very blessed for me as I got my mother back because of the du'as and all the blessing of you guys. Thank you so very much.
So what do you think about the Ramadan so far? I thought that we were doing the rosas in winter times, not summer at all, till it dawned upon us that it is summer 3 days ago.
Oh yes, the weather was really very nice in the beginning of the Ramadan, and we felt really very good having the fast for the whole day. Like, we were not thirsty at all. We were enjoying the weather, sitting outside, doing the walks, and it was absolutely fine. But just 3 days ago, the weather literally started to go really very hot, and that's where when we started to just stay indoors mostly. And of course, Atif has to work; he has to go. But I was mostly lying down either on the sofa and giving instructions and helping my children for with the homework, or sleeping. Of course, most of the times it was sleeping, and that made my rosa really very easy. So yes, weather has, I think, a lot to count when it comes to fasting. And what do you think, Atif? How many years when we are gonna have Ramadan in winters here in Pakistan?
I think after probably 5 years, I think we will be having the Ramadan in proper winter time, inshallah. I think that was going to be quite nice in the way that we have been doing the Rodas during quite long days in UK when we were in Milton Keynes. So it's going to be quite a nice change to have something like this. So let's talk about the lockdown then. I think in the first show we just almost sort of finished about the first wave, how the businesses got impacted, how the society reacted, and how we were basically our lives got changed. And I think one of the things that hit us for us is our real uncle and aunt. They were the first to get coronavirus in the wave one in our family. So they were the first one, and it was quite worrying in the way that we didn't know what it is. We didn't know how to react, how to behave, whether it's going to be 100% isolation, or there was a lot of learning curve for us as a family. I think the upside was that their symptoms, alhamdulillah, were still very mild. They didn't get those severe reactions as we were hearing in the news, as we were hearing from our friends and stuff. So, alhamdulillah, they got recovered, I think, after about 20 days or so. They came out of the isolation, and it was, to me, it was, yeah, they got corona, but it was not something that, oh, they got something, and the whole thing got panicked and all that kind of stuff. So I think that the way I saw those 20 days were, yeah, we are in touch with them, constantly in touch with them, and but it was not a panicking situation or a chaotic situation. What about you?
Yeah, so I basically think that acceptance of the disease plays a lot of role. In the beginning, everybody was really very scared, and with the time, we accepted the disease, and we get quite, I won't say it used to it, but in a way that we were listening about our dear ones getting it, and most of them were getting recovered as well. So the first and the second wave was easier. If you talk about the Pakistan, we are talking about Pakistan, of course, but the third wave is really very it's like it's a killer. It's literally killing everybody. My father-in-law has been affected a lot psychologically, because his whole friend group has been shattered. Many of them lost their lives because of this pandemic, and whenever I see him, it really hurts me, because he had always been, a very sociable person. He's just out there helping people. He's well-known person here in Lahore when it comes to charity. So many people know him, so he's helping a lot. But after all this, he has literally stopped me seeing irrelevant people. And of course, he is worried about his health and the way it has affected his friends. So the third wave is really very, I would call it deadly. And whosoever has got it, we were so lucky. We got the third wave, but we got recovered. Like the 3 days were really very difficult for us, but later on it became really very easy for us. But those who were like elderly, they when they got it, when we talk about them, literally got them. When I saw my mother, she was like literally on the deathbed, and the only thing which I really want to talk about my mother is she refused to go to ICU because she has seen many of her peers going to the ventilator and then never coming back home. So this is the only and last thing she said to my brother, with whom she is living with, that she that don't take me to the hospital. We were taking her to the hospital for general checkups and getting her, up to date with the doctor's advice. But apart from that, we had to create the whole room, the whole ICU in the house. And to be very honest, I think that it has a very very positive part, because my mother was seeing everybody, well, not seeing literally, but listening to everybody in the house. And um, I was there, my brother was there, although we were following all the SOPs, but we were there and we were making it sure that my mother is listening to everybody in the house. And that's what brought her back to life. I think that losing the hope matters a lot when you are really very sick or you're really very ill. So this was the message which we sent at the end of the last show, that whosoever is suffering with this disease, just remember that the Ramadan FM team is there, and we would be in touch with you guys. If you want to chat with us on Facebook, you can listen to our shows, and you can also comment here right now on our Facebook. Or if you want to join the callers, if you want to join the hosts, so that would be fantastic. And every host would love to have your call, and we would love to listen to you what you are going through. And it would be amazing and definitely a liable moment in your life to listen to all the shows in Ramadan FM, because it is doing a great job.
Yeah, thanks, Sadia. I think we're just making a transition from wave one to wave two, and I think as we moved into wave two, uh, things were getting very very good for us in Pakistan. The positivity ratio was probably under 5% or so, maybe less than that. And I think the scare that came in wave one, and with the complete lockdown, people were quite scared. The businesses were quite impacted. And after Eid last year, Alhamdulillah, things started to get better. And with Allah's special blessing, uh, the society started to come and breathe and live as if things were getting very good, things were getting back to normal. And I think at that point, most of us started to get complacent as well. And I think it was more to do with the rahmah of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala rather than the carelessness of the Lahoris. The wave two was not significant, and it's only till December I think that things started to get a bit tricky again. And as Sadia mentioned, that as we entered into the wave three, that was something which was very very difficult to manage. And now we are in April, and I think in the last 3 to 4 months, the positivity ratio has doubled. It's more than 10% now. And I think in wave three, whoever I call, if I pick up anyone in my phone book at the moment and give them a call, it is 90% likelihood that some of their or family members has got an impact of COVID-19. And I think this is quite tricky at the moment, and this is something which is quite troubling. And if we talk about the wave three, most of the countries in Europe, they are coming out of that. Most of the countries in Americas, they are coming out of it. But this region is now getting the impact. And if we talk about our neighbors, India,
Yeah, of course.
that
It's
is
very, very sad.
very, very sad. And I think uh, may Allah help them as well, because having more than 2,000 deaths every day for the last 1 week or so, it's devastating. We are talking about like 150 deaths in Pakistan at the moment, and the trajectory is not in our favor. The trajectory is getting worse, and I think it's that complacency that we sort of had in wave two. Um, what do you think, Sadia? The people who sort of think that Corona is a virus of winters, and because of summers, it's going to go away or have its own death.
Yeah, so normally we treat it as like a normal flu, and we always associate it with the flu, of course. And we say that, it's just like another flu, and flus always come with during the winter time. And whenever we are feeling cold, we catch flu. And this is what we thought of COVID here in Pakistan, that when the winter's going to come. And of course, if you know about the Pakistani weather, it's extreme. It's really very hot during summertime. So we thought that it's going to go away. And especially my mother, this is what she was thinking, that it's going to go away during summertime. And she got stuck. But what I wanted to talk about here is, the point is just slipped from my mind. um, there's a lot of agitation. You all must know, all the viewers and listeners, you all must know that there's a lot of agitation on the borders between India and Pakistan, and everybody must know their rivalry through cricket as well. But when it came to the pandemic, the COVID 19 situation, it was so heartwarming to see that everybody here in Pakistan is praying for them. And from the bottom of our hearts, we literally want this we literally want this COVID to go away from and leave Indians alone. And we were just praying from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be Rahim and to be Kareem on Indians. And I really hope that it's going to go away very soon. And it is really very good and very positive to see all the aid which is like coming in to India. And Pakistan is also negotiating of sending the ambulances. Although we are a very small country, if you compare in India, Pakistan is, of course, is a smaller country than India. But as a neighboring country, we offered our help, and we sent some ambulance aid as well, with oxygen. Of course, they didn't have the oxygen when the pandemic hit them hard. So I hope the things would get better soon there in India. And I really, really hope that in Pakistan we would not let things go where Indians took the things. And I hope that we really learned the lesson from them. Since the Eid is hitting us, and sorry, arriving very soon, it's just around the corner, and people are going out for shopping. And you all must know that how excited Pakistani nation is when it comes to Chand Raat, the night before Eid. And we go out for Mehndi. It's a ritual. Many people, like my mother, she's a very traditionalist, and she doesn't go out the house most of the times. But the Chand Raat is the night when she really enjoys herself and she waits for it. So the whole nation comes out. But the government is taking a lot of strict measurements, and it is making sure that people won't mingle. And it is really very good, and it is benefit for ourselves. But of course, if we talk about all the societies in the world, there are people, those who don't believe in COVID. There are people everywhere. So same like this, we have people here in Pakistan as well. and it is really very sad to see them and learn from them that they don't believe this monster, which is like literally right in front of them. So Atif, can you please read the comments? Today we are having a lot of comments, so it would be good to read the comments. And thank you so very much for commenting on the Facebook, and we would really like to have more comments on the Facebook. So yes, Atif.
So are you thanking the audience, or are you thanking yourself that someone is listening to us at this point in time? Well, thanks for your comments. I think we got a message on WhatsApp asking about the death rate in Pakistan, and is it a true reflection of the situation? So I'm not an expert in this, but my view is that yes, the government can fudge the stats of how many got positive every day. Yes, the government can fudge the stats of how many got recovered. But one thing that any government cannot hide, in my view, is the death rate, because the deaths get registered officially, and you cannot hide that actually. And I think Pakistan death rate is still low, but if you look at the Indian death rates back in February and March, they were around the same sort of 100, 150 mark as well. And it's only till April it spiked exponentially. And we are hearing different versions of it. That there was a big festival that happened that attracted hundreds of thousands of people. We are also hearing the version that there are some political rallies happening because of some election. I mean, things like that. It's not my place to comment, but I mean, you can have an election in another 1 month or 2 months as well. It's not going to be the end of the world, to be honest. But what is the price you are paying now? And that price is too high.
Yes, definitely.
And I think that is something which is devastating. And still at the government level, there is, you need to be very flexible. You need to be very, very, I mean, you need to break the rules, or willing to break down the barriers in the name of humanity. And at this point in time, it is a crisis of humanity. And being the neighbors, it doesn't feel very good. All our prayers are with them, but at the same time, I think we need to learn the things that happen in China from wave 1, that happen in Europe in wave 2, and what is happening in India in wave 3, to be honest.
Yes, and what saved them is that they're still following SOPs. And I think this is something which we are going to follow for, I think, next couple of years, or maybe more than that. So as Atif spoke about the businesses last in the last show, that how the online businesses got flourished during this pandemic. So as same way, we have to keep it in our minds that this is the lifestyle we have to adopt. And if we are not going to do that, then of course it's going to keep hitting us. The vaccination is there to help us to cope with the situation. It's definitely not there. We all know that it's not going to just finish all the symptoms. Of course they're going to be there, but the intensity is going to be mild. So it's really very important for all of us to get vaccinated as soon as possible. And then secondly, we need to understand that we have to change our lifestyles. We have to bring in the mask. There are so many videos which are coming in that, don't wear the mask, and there are so many bugs in the mask which are actually going into your lungs through your nose, and they are the ones which are actually eating up all your lungs, not the COVID virus. But this is not a fact. Anything, if you're going to live in a humid environment, of course our surroundings are full of germs, and there are some good germs and some bad germs. And we all know that we are going to find them in anything at all. If you keep the water in a corner for a couple of days, it's going to appear on that as well. So we just have to be mindful about the situation, and we just have to be mindful about this virus, and we always have to remember that it is not going anywhere. So we have to change our lifestyle. So I would like to have a caller with us. Did you read the comments? Yeah, so do you want to read it, or first I take the call? Okay, yeah. Okay, all right, all right. So let's hear the comments from Atif.
Yeah, so there is a lot of things regarding one of the caller is basically saying that they got hit in the first wave with very strong symptoms, but alhamdulillah they got recovered, and the daughter played a very important role in the recovery. So that's great news to hear,
Yes,
and
definitely.
really good to see. Yes, it is time to be united, strictly follow the SOPs, and they're asking to request all the audience. Yes, in Pakistan, they have started 40 plus vaccinations, so they have just given the number as well that you can text your CNIC number to get registered for the 40 plus. So anyone who is listening from Pakistan, and if you are above 40, I'm not yet, but please do that. Yes, so another caller is asking that do we have any figure of what percentage of people have been vaccinated? Well, the Pakistan is progressing very well with the vaccination.
Yes, they are. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
The government has set up really a seamless process in and out. Total net time is 20 to 25 minutes. My parents got vaccinated with the second dose today. Our cousins got the private vaccinations. My real uncle, again, they got vaccinated the first dose.
Yeah.
So yes, the vaccinations have started, and the government is massively targeting the vulnerable age first, like 70 plus, then 60 plus, then 50 plus. We'll talk a bit more about this. We are just heading towards our first break. So if you have any other questions, please do share with us. We will be back shortly after this short commercial break.
And we have got 10 seconds. So that this time is really very difficult when you know that the time is coming up. The time is near.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين إياك الضالين
Your soul while your body flies. Ramadan FM. Your soul while your body flies. Your body flies. Ramadan FM. Your soul relax. Feed your soul while your body fasts.
Waffles, crepes, cookie dough, ice cream, just what you need after a long day of fasting. Dessert Island is open until 1 a.m. during Ramadan, 7 days a week, and there is free parking at the rear. Come and see us at 116 to 118 Queensway, Bletchley. We can even deliver. Just visit dessert-island.co.uk or download the app.
German Doner Kebab wishes you Ramadan Kareem. Enjoy your doner after dusk with us and choose from the original Doner Kebab, the K-Cal, the Doner Crunch Burger, or perhaps the Boss Box and so much more. You can find your nearest GDK at GermanDonerKebab.com or bring the Ramadan experience to your doorstep by signing up for your Ramadan pack at RamadanTentProject.com. German Doner Kebab. Kebabs done right.
Come and visit us at Al Ansar and find fantastic deals on food and drink. At Al Ansar, we specialize in Asian groceries and HMC halal meat. We stock products from all over the world and have everything you need this Ramadan, from big packs of rice, flour and oil to dates, treats and snacks. You can find us at 153 Queens Way in Bletchley or call us on 01908 411 334.
Ramadan Mubarak from Adam Accounting Services.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Need help with your accounts and tax work?
Contact us today on 01908 692 380 and see how we can help.
Adam Accounting Services. Friendly local accountants. Call us today on 01908 692 380.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Kashif Raza. I will be presenting the 6 articles of faith with my guest Muhammad Suleiman every Sunday 12 till 1. Thank you.
Welcome to Banter on Bikes with your host Zab and your co-host Sof. We cover a range of interesting topics, all through the lens of a Muslim cyclist.
Every Saturday and Sunday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Ramadan FM.
For a list of all our sponsors, please visit RamadanFM.com.
Ramadan, 87.9 FM.
he was so shocked to see that he just literally got inside, and there were no long queues because the staff, the government has arranged a lot of people, pharmaceutical people, to get the vaccination done. So the staff was on a massive account, and it was very good to see the system. Really very nice. Okay, I am just thinking about the caller, so it's very difficult for me to concentrate right now. Let's take the call. This is Munawar Saeed, and he's a student, and he's going to share about his experiences regarding the pandemic. So he's the guest of our show, and he's going to tell us all about his experiences. Hello, assalamu alaikum, Muhammad Munawar Saeed.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello? I think there is some sort of distortion on his side. Hello, Munawar Saeed. Can you hear me, Munawar Saeed? Okay, so we'll take the call later on, but we were talking about the fantastic facilities which government has given to the citizens, and it's really very amazing to see. It's just walk in, you can. Okay, he's calling us back. So yes, hello, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to our show, Munawar Saeed. Are you listening to us?
Yes, I am. Walaikum assalam.
So how are you, and can you please give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Oh, yes, I'm doing very good, thank you. So basically, I'm Munawar Saeed Kazmi, and right now I'm studying in a university, National University of Science and Technology in Islamabad, Pakistan.
Okay, so I have requested you to join our show to share your experience of pandemic, since you were living in a hostel, and how was your hostel life, and was it were you following the SOPs, and what are your experiences? Just share your experiences with us, please.
Oh, well, it wasn't quite different as from anyone around the pandemic. Everyone has the same experiences, I guess. So what was different between mine and yours was that, first of all, we didn't have SOPs in our hostels because we were all hostelites living in the same place. We couldn't go out of our university for any reason at all. So which meant that we were quite safe in the premises. What was different was that we had a very hard time coping up with the situation. So, like, no extracurricular activities. All we could do was locked up in our rooms. Very bad overall. Our studies were affected quite horrendously. We haven't done a single lab work. Although, so for example, our university thinks that we know how to control all of the hydraulic systems in our university, but the truth is that we haven't even seen one yet. So all we've done, all the lab works we've done were basically theoretical. I'm thinking of doing an extra year just so that I can cover up my labs again.
Yeah, that would be good. There was this joke, Munawar Saeed, which I was reading today, that sooner or later there is gonna be ad in the advertisement of the job applicants, that those who have studied during 2021 do not apply. So what do you think? It is right, or is it fair enough?
Definitely. I think it's right. What we could have done better was, for example, take New Zealand, follow the SOPs rigorously for the first 6 months, and then have concerts at the end of the year, just like they did. So we could have coped up with it better, but it didn't work out as well as for us.
Yes, that's true. But to be honest, I'm not favoring anybody, but I would say that our culture is completely different, isn't it, Munawar Saeed? Most of us are living in a joint family system, and somewhere you would see a compact joint family system, and then we have this house help as well, and they do not follow SOPs whatsoever, and that what makes things really very difficult for everybody.
Well, we were 98 students in our hostel. That's bigger than any joint family you could ever see.
Yes, definitely.
So if you follow the SOPs properly, there's no point in having a family of 10 or 20 or 30 or even a single shared bedroom. It doesn't really matter.
There you go. You have given me the answer. Yes, that's absolutely right. Absolutely right. So tell us more about your mental health. Was it affected? Because last time in our show we had Rida Fatima, and she told us that her living style, her lifestyle has changed completely, and she is like following SOPs religiously. And she told me that because her grandmother was affected, and because her father and her whole family was affected, so it has affected her mental health a lot. So would you like to say something about your mental health?
Oh, I mean, this could have been bad for me, but I tried to stay positive. I have many friends of mine who came crying to me because they were so out of bounds with everything. They couldn't cope up. At some points, yeah, I could say I couldn't cope up with it as well, but I did a pretty good job with myself.
That's really very nice. And what were the things which kept you going?
Oh, so basically, I've played a lot of video games. We had our sports complex opened. Yeah, so I played table tennis and futsal and studied most probably, I would say.
Oh, that's nice. And did you watch movies? Like in Pakistan, I think most of the population has downloaded Netflix. So were you on Netflix?
Oh no, basically it's quite surprising. I don't watch movies or serials or seasons.
Oh,
I've only watched one. I've only watched one because I don't have the ability to concentrate on one thing for so long. The only season I've watched two basically. Lupin, which is the new French season. It's very good. I would recommend it for sure. And Dark. Both of the seasons I loved though.
Oh, is it? Okay, then listeners would definitely go and watch these shows if you're recommending them. That's really very nice. Adib, do you have any questions for Munawar Saeed?
Yeah, how do you see the next 1 year of education going?
I don't think it's getting any better till 2023.
This is what I also think, that it's not going to get better. We have to change our lifestyles, and we are still hoping and thinking that we are going to, do things in a couple of months, and we are just putting the things in pending that, okay, we'll do it later when things are going to get better, but things are not going to get better anyways, isn't it?
Very true. So when our online classes started, I shouldn't say this online, but most of my teachers didn't even know how to start the online classes. Our students would say press Alt and F4, and then you'd get full screen, and then that hung up the call. So we've had lots of fun moments, which we shouldn't have, but it was a pleasant surprise.
Oh, it's all right. Don't blame anything. Just enjoy. Just go with the flow, I think. That's right. Really very nice. Okay, thank you so very much, Munawar Saeed, for being our guest. And it is lovely talking to you and lovely having you in our show. And it is really very good to hear your experience through the pandemic, and lovely to listen your recommendations for Netflix. Thank you very much, Munawar Saeed.
You're very welcome.
Do you have any message for the listeners?
Oh yes, I would say to we have to cope up with the situation, whatever it is. So stay strong, be safe, stay at home, watch Netflix, whatever you want. Just don't go out.
Yeah, that's a good message. Thank you very much, Munawar Saeed. Assalamu
You're very welcome.
Allah Hafiz. So that was Munawar Saeed sharing his experience of hostel life, and he lives in Islamabad. So that was him. So do you have anything to add, or how long we have to go to the Adhan break?
I think we will just go with the flow at the moment. There is no warning. But I would like to thank everyone who was posting comments on Facebook and YouTube. So Shazia Wasim, Carl Hanif, Ashir Afan, Afia Nusrat, Luchi Adam, and others. Thank you for joining in and listening to this show. Much appreciated. I think Munawar mentioned a very interesting thing, because I also am a visiting professor in one of the universities in Lahore. And the way COVID has impacted the education sector, I think it's phenomenal for a couple of reasons. Because being a teacher, there were a lot of things that we had to adapt very, very quickly, and there was a lot of time that I spent last year counseling the students at that time that this is something which will go very soon. Uh, they're not used to. I mean, I'm not used to learn anything if someone is not present in person, let alone being on Skype or Google Meet or Zoom. And it's been a quite a radical change in terms of adapting to new ways of learning, adapting to new ways of interaction. And when you are lecturing a class of like 40 or 30 students online and trying to manage the the lockdown at home with kids running around and everything around such environment, and even from the students' perspective, they have to be at home as well with the background noise, with the family around as well. So there's a lot of things that you need to endure. There's a lot of things that you need to adapt. That this is normal now. This is fine. If my sons are fighting with each other and suddenly someone got hurt, and my students are hearing some noises of both the boys fighting like two crazy child, that's absolutely fine. It is normal. We are all humans. And I think it's about almost more than one year that I've been teaching or doing the lectures online. And there's a lot of things that I have learned during this process as well. Um, that how to cope up with emotional intelligence when you are not in person, when you can sense the things. And actually, the burden has doubled for me because I started this just to uh, uh, impart some of the things that I have learned in my professional career as I moved the transition from a job to my own business to the students. But actually, I'm putting more effort now because sometimes I have to individually call the students as well because they are getting issues in terms of the learning. They are getting uh, anxiety issues. They are getting some social issues, and that has created a different kind of interaction between the teacher and the student, which probably was never required when you are doing the in-person teaching. But in online, it has increased phenomenally. So, and I think Sadia, you are also started to do online course. So, how's your experience been as we move towards the studies and education sector?
Well, my experience of studying online is really very good because whenever I started college before this pandemic, and when I was in the classroom, I was rushing things. Of course, starting studying is after like 10 years or more than 10 years is not easy. So I was just rushing things. I was not in a routine, but having the online class has given me an edge. Just I can take the class from my drawing room, and to be honest, I am learning a lot through this online classes. But there is one thing which I really want to include is that it's for everybody. The only thing which can keeps you going, or the only thing which can make you a successful person during this pandemic or in the new life, is a routine, a very healthy routine. So since if I talk about my experiences, I am a person who has been who doesn't who can't who's not a morning person. I'm not a morning person, so for me getting up in the morning is really very difficult. But on the other hand, my husband is an early riser, so he sleeps early and he gets up really very early in the morning. So it had always been a challenge for me, and when the pandemic hit us, it was very easy for me to escape from the things. But in a long run, I have realized that how much I'm missing by sleeping late at night. I'm missing a lot. And Yes, so we have to. I'm trying to change my routine now, and you all. This is the message for all of you that you all also have to change your routine, and it is the only thing which can help you survive. It is good for your mental health. It is good for your physical health, and if there is any project which you want to start, because we all are sitting at home coming up with different ideas. Those who are the doers, of course, they are going to keep doing things. Most of us are the doers, and human being, it is in our nature to do things, but it is just that we cannot break that barrier which is between us and the success. So this pandemic is giving us a huge opportunity to break that barrier and make a routine while you are inside your house, and get up early in the morning, have healthy breakfast, and then go for a walk or some good exercise. And Atif, you're distracting me, please stop doing that. So this is really, really very good for all of us to have a proper routine. So what do you have to say about this?
Well, I was just cheering you because these words were quite alien to me, but I hope that you will start to implement what you say as well, uh, because that's going to be a game changer, isn't it? But yeah, I think uh, one of the things that uh, I would say that the COVID-19 has given us a lot of time if we use it wisely. And if we don't use it wisely, there is no time as well. Similarly, in Ramadan, we get a lot of time if we use it wisely. But the nature or the time that as a Muslim we should be spending is most of the time in the mornings, and nights are for sleeping or for uh, uh, ibadah, if you want to use that time in isolation, meditating with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Okay, so I think I would like to share a couple of things about Lahore. Uh, being a Lahori, it's very difficult to keep your heart away from Lahore. One interesting fact about Lahore is that there are 16 dialects that are being spoken in Lahore, which are the different variants of Punjabi. So Lahore is part of the Punjab province, and I think one of the things that I would say that's not properly understood in UK. I always wanted to say that. I used to say to everyone I meet was that when you talk about chicken curry is not an Indian food. It's not a Pakistani food. Chicken curry is a Punjabi food. Yeah.
Here we go, Punjabi.
We have a Punjab in Lahore, and we have a Punjab in Pakistan, and we have a Punjab in India. So it is this province of Punjab, the great Punjabis, who came up with this fantastic food of chicken curry, which has been changed and misused by the rest of Pakistan and India to make it more mild or make it more creamy and give the funny names of butter chicken and all that kind of stuff. But the real chicken curry is a Punjabi food invented by the Punjabis, and it's still and it's always be a Punjabi food, whether you are part of the Indian Punjab or Pakistani Punjab. You know, so that's an interesting fact that I wanted to share. If
Yeah, I would like to add something in it. Well, I am of course, we both, me and Atif, are Pakistani, but we belong to a completely different backgrounds. Atif is Punjabi, while we are Urdu speakers. So he's absolutely right by saying that the chicken curry, that the chicken karahi especially, is Punjabi speciality. And trust me that you have, whenever you visit Lahore, you have to visit Bhat Kadahi. And what is the name of is it the Temple Road? Although it's not a very Temple Road, yes. So it's But Karahi Chicken on Temple Road. So although it's not a very flashy restaurant, but the taste is amazing, and it would serve you organic chicken. So you have two options. You can either have broiler or you can have the organic chicken as well. So it's always better to have the organic one. And yeah,
Yeah, there is a different variance. Even if you go for the organic chicken, you can either have it in oil, you can have it in desi ghee, you can have it in butter. You can have, so there is a lot of variants. I mean, if you are Punjabi, you would know that, or if you are associated with the Punjabi, you would know that as well. So we got another comment that you are Polish and you visited Lahore around 10 years ago. Brilliant. And you had the best biryani of your life near the Badshahi Mosque. Wow, that is bringing on the best memories as well, because near the Badshahi Mosque we have the food street, and we have some of the really nice places to eat with the amazing view overseeing the Badshahi Mosque, the Shahi Fort, the Minar Pakistan. I think in the next show, let's touch on some of these things for the audience to incite them to and convince them to come to Lahore once the things get
yeah,
better.
sure. Be our guests. We'd be there to host you all. You can come.
So I think let's in the next show, let's talk about some of the food, the variants, the places, and stuff like that. So if you like your food, yes, please do join us next time. We also got another reminder about the registration, which is sending the message to 1166 in Pakistan. Don't do this in UK. I don't know
So you have
what
to,
you will get as a response.
Yeah. So what all you have to do is to send your NIC number to 1166. Rabia Naveed, thank you so very much for reminding us. She has done her registration and now she's waiting for the replying message. So send your registration number if you know anybody in Pakistan or you are Pakistani. 1166 is the number. You just have to send your CNIC number and they will reply you back through the text message.
Okay, it's time for us to say Allah Hafiz. Enjoy your iftar. It was lovely being with you guys. Take care. Lots of prayers. Keep remember us in your du'as. And may Allah keep us safe and healthy. Thank you very much. And Allah Hafiz.
Parenting in Islam is about raising awareness of both deen and dunya. It's about understanding the ibadah, adab, and ikhlaqiyat. Join me, Sadia, every Sunday, 10 to 11 a.m. and let's share each other's experiences of parenting.
Prophet Stories. Let's come together and learn from the lives of prophets. Join us.
मैं हूं जाहिदा और रमज़ान के मुबारक महीने में मैं आपके लिए उर्दू शो पेश करूंगी हर जुमे के दिन शाम 6 से 7 बजे तक। एक शो में मुख्तलिफ मौज़ूआत और रिमाइंडर्स शामिल होंगे। रमज़ान की फजीलत से लेकर रमज़ान के बाद तक का अरसा, हमारी ज़िंदगी और आखिरत का आपस में गहरा ताल्लुक, और इस प्रोग्राम में रूहानी बातें शामिल होंगी।